Semi-modal verbs. Modal verbs are helping verbs that are used to show ability, possibility, permission, necessity, certainty, advice, obligation, and habit. Semi-modal verbs are called semi-modal because they act much the same way as modal verbs. However, they are different because they sometimes behave more like typical verbs. Some change to agree with their subjects, some change tense, and some can be combined with verbs like be, have, and do. The semi-modal verbs are need, dare, used to, have to, and ought to. Need is used to show necessity and obligation. It is semi-modal because if we use it with a main verb, we use to before the main verb. It also changes to match the subject. You need to take a bath before bed. She needs to be on time. Notice with you, it's need, and with she, it's needs with an S. In the negative form, need is used without to before the main verb. It is also formed with not, like a modal verb. You need not heat the baby's bottle. He needn't bring any money. In the second sentence, need not is changed to the contraction needn't. Dare is used to show that the subject has the courage to do something or to deny or challenge something or someone. It is semi-modal because we sometimes use to before the main verb. It also changes with the subject, unlike modal verbs. He often dares to ride his bike up that hill. How dare he take the last candy? Like need in the negative form, dare is used without to. It also uses not, like a modal verb. He dares not try that stunt in gym class. I dare not eat any more cake. Notice with he, it's dares, and with I, it's dare. Used to is used to show the idea that an action happened routinely in the past, but doesn't happen anymore. She used to live in Indianapolis, but she lives here now. He used to eat 6 hamburgers at one time. Used to also shows the idea of being accustomed or familiar with doing the action of the main verb. He was used to getting his own way. They were used to sitting at the big table. Have to is used to show obligation and necessity. It changes to match the subject and the tense. Have to is different from the main verb have or the helping verb have. My mom says I have to go home at 5. He has to run 5 more laps. We had to read a book for language arts. In the first sentence, it's present tense, I have. In the second, it changes for he has. And in the third, it's changed to past tense, we had. When have to is used as a negative, it doesn't use not like modal verbs. It uses a negative helping verb like don't or won't. You don't have to stay after school. She doesn't have to sing the anthem now. Ought to is also used to show obligation or necessity. It uses to like the other semi-modal verbs, but it doesn't change form or use other helping verbs. You ought to ride the bus to your friends after school. We ought to take a walk while it is still nice. Like other modal verbs, use not with ought to when forming a negative. The to is sometimes optional. You ought not eat so much junk food. I oughtn't to have gone to bed so late. And the second one, ought not, is turned into the contraction oughtn't.